Hey, what's going on? This is your boy Solo Mission back on here with another video for this particular channel. And if you just happen to stop by this video based on the title, let's go ahead and dive in and not waste no time. The language in this video may be graphic at times. Bear with the language and understand the message. Let's move forward. And with this video, I'm talking about the Illuminati in the United States of America. It's global. But let's just focus on the United States of America and let's talk about the different corporations and the United States government that participates in this, whether you're in the private sector or just the government in general. How one hand definitely washes the other, or another term we can use, if you scratch my back, I will definitely scratch yours. So as I adjust this camera as well, and let's go ahead and turn the head back and get real cool with this one right here. You feel me? Because I want you to soak the message and I want to get comfortable. So let's go ahead and dive in. Now, I want to talk about the Illuminati and in a way of how they continue to use us here in the United States as their test rats, if you will. You know, we wonder why a lot of people have different diseases. You know, you get sick. You know, we have really been brainwashed to believe that once you get a certain age, you automatically going to have or should expect to have some form of cancer, high blood pressure, sugar diabetes, so on and so forth. Now, granted, you may have a family history of those ailments, and it may naturally run in your family, and it may happen at some point in your life. But when you are mentally woke to the Illuminati, you can also be able to see how the Illuminati, here in the United States and global, aid or expedite your own personal situation here. And they do it with different organizations. So let's focus on the Food and Drug Administration here in the United States, FDA, right? You know, the good old FDA will approve anything under the sun. Trust me, they will. And as long as they have the pharmaceutical companies in the back pocket, which they do, or maybe vice versa, maybe the pharmaceutical company got them in the back, however you want to phrase that. Again, one hand washing the other. They will approve every drug under the sun, and anything that comes in the United States that's imported from China will be fed to you here in the United States. You know, I talk about genetically modified foods in some of my videos, but I haven't elaborated on it to a certain extent. Maybe in some of my earlier videos that's on this particular channel. And when we talk about genetically modified foods and man-made diseases to keep the population controlled, which is that's another New World Order notion that they, trying to dock. And with this New World Order and their own population control, they always come up with some kind of new man-made disease to see would that version take off. You know, you always have different ones every 2 years maybe that comes out, and they seem to come out of nowhere, is what they claim. You had your West Nile virus, your mad cow disease, you have your Ebola. I mean, you just have different diseases that seem to come out of nowhere. And so we know that some of these man-made diseases for which they claim they have no answer to, all right? So with that population control and how they treat these diseases in the United States is one way to rid certain populations, if you will, in rural areas or whatnot, because they do it a lot. I.e., when they was doing the spray for Zika virus down there in Florida, and they sprayed all that pesticide in the air down there, and they never did question what they were spraying in the air and how that could impact people. You know, the good old EPA, the Environment Protection Agency, if you will, They was asked the question, but they never came back with a specific answer on how does it affect the air when you breathing that stuff in. But we know, just like the Food and Drug Administration, they are in the back pocket of the Illuminati as well. So they're going to tell you it's not going to hurt your lungs and your brain and your throat when you breathe that stuff in. But common sense, you should know that already. Let's go ahead and focus on the food that we're eating. Because see, they got cute when Michelle Obama passed that little, I think, law she had, or she was trying to pass, where the foods for your child's lunch in the cafeteria was supposed to be less sodium and more healthy for the children when they're eating lunch. And this new administration that's in the office at the time of this video pulled that notion back, and they're going to continue the way the lunches are now, that are high sodium and somewhat unhealthy for the children that's eating that nonsense at school. And my point with that, as I plateau to the main point, are people even aware of what their kids are eating? And the real question is, do you even care? See, when we talk about ingredients like high fructose corn syrup and how it destroys the cells in your body on an everyday basis, because that is man-made sugar. And with the good old Food and Drug Administration, along with these private sector companies, your whatever your favorite breakfast cereal by whatever company it is made by, they get real cute and they change the ingredients on the label, claiming that they remove certain items or what have you. Now, it doesn't take a rocket science to know a company that's making $1 billion every year to serve breakfast cereal is not going to tinker with their business to remove a ingredient to quote unquote help the United States of America population. They're just not going to do it. Nor is the Food and Drug Administration going to require them to do it. Now, they're going to get real cute and they're going to change their box and labels and advertisements to say, guess what, folks? We now gluten-free. We've removed high fructose corn syrup. It's good now, in their commercials and advertisements. When you look at the packaging, it's going to say no high fructose corn syrup. Again, from a common sense point of view, you should already know that that's a marketing strategy. Hence, the reason why these companies have marketing and PR departments. So with good marketing, they feed you the same old bush, and they hope you feed it to your family, and you wonder why you have sugar diabetes running rampant because people drinking sodas. You wonder why your liver and your pancreas and even your thyroid sometimes become damaged from eating that bullshit every day. People love to go to fast foods and wait 30, 45 minutes for some fries and a hamburger, knowing full and well you eating fake food, genetically modified food. The cute word at the time of this video, everything now is organic. The reason why people spend their lives getting sick, again, is because we, A, brainwashed to believe that it's automatically going to happen, and B, all the food that they feeding us under the table, they know full and well is not healthy to eat. Some shit that they wouldn't eat and feed to their family. But see, here in the United States, there's no real regulations. You go do some research on the quote-unquote poorest countries on this globe, and you will see that certain countries don't allow certain foods in their countries. But here in the good old United States of America, everything the Food and Drug Administration would approve is accepted and served to the American public. From high fructose corn syrup to partially hydrogenated this, which you find in your vegetable oils. People love that cornbread mix that's so famous. See, when you look on a label, on those old boxes, it told you it was partially hydrogenated with high fructose corn syrup. Every condiment that you eat has some form of high fructose corn syrup in it. And if people understand what that does to the cells in your body when you eat that mess, and how your pancreas is damaged, throwing your insulin off, ramping up your blood pressure. People die of early age and they call it a normal death because you're eating it. You spend a lifetime eating that mess. Nobody's out here exercising. I told somebody that they was eat feces if the United States of America served it and they artificially flavored that shit. You know, people shook their head and said no, but I challenged them to look in their pantry and see all the cheap dollar stuff that they bought at the local dollar store. And look on the packaging and tell me how many times do you see artificially flavored this and artificially flavored that. Well, again, you don't need a rocket science to tell you what the word artificial means. But let me clarify. In layman's term, is just basic pure meaning is fake, non-real. So if you putting fake, non-real food in your body, then don't you think the cells in your body is going to get upset to the point where they're not going to stop filtering that bullshit out? Especially when you're not eating and you're drinking sodas and you're eating genetically modified food along with artificially flavored food. You putting all that fake man-made sugar in your body, and then you asking your body to keep you alive. And then you wondering why people dying of cancer and heart disease, high blood pressure, this, that, and the other. See, we poison our body every single day by doing what the Illuminati wants you to do. See, the Illuminati, via the FDA, want you to feel that you're eating right, that you're feeding your family good. It's safe to eat it. We approved it. When they know that all that stuff that come imported from China is not checked at those ports. We know, and you should too, that all those good old chopped up rats that they chop up over there in China, go get your YouTube video on and see how they chop the heads and legs and tails off and cut all the skin off, and the only thing left is the meat, and how they ship that shit over here to the United States. You think you eating boneless chicken wings. That's cute. No, you eating skinless rats that have been running around over there in China's alleyways and what have you. Again, bon appetit. The United States of America don't give a fuck about you. They never will. But see, with this new world order and this mixed population control, along with the Illuminati, because they always got their hand in it. Like I said in the previous video, you are in his clutches. Now you can eat that mess and feed it to your family. Even when you eat fruits and vegetables, now they trying to get to that now. Every fruit and vegetable is organic. They even got a cute ass section in your favorite supermarket, label organic this. Well, I ask you, where was that shit in the, let's say, Great Depression era, 1925 through 35? In that whole Great Depression era, was they saying genetically modified? Was they saying organic foods? Because they damn sure was genetically modified then. They was feeding you bullshit, just like they feed you bullshit now. Big ass strawberries, knowing full well those not real strawberries that you're eating. They even improved it and said they was going to do with the apples. They even had a little special where they set an apple out there that was genetically modified. An apple that's cut usually turn brown. This apple didn't turn brown till almost 30, 45 minutes later. So what is that doing to your body? So to wrap this video up, I ask you, just like they did up there in Flint, Michigan with all that nasty water, how they knew about it and they kept feeding it to the public. See, we think that the United States of America give a fuck about us, that they won't do us wrong. But you want to ask yourself that all that food you're eating, you need to watch it, alright? You don't have to die an early death from eating all the bullshit that they prove by the Food and Drug Administration, controlled by the Illuminati. This is your boy, Solo Mission.